afternoon to everyone. On behalf of Riva Engineering College, it is a great pleasure to welcome our esteemed audience to today's session. Serving the nation since 1964, Riva Engineering College has experienced tremendous growth over the years. Our college proudly holds NBA accreditation for three branches and offers both UG and PG program on campus. Today's session is a part of the expert lecture series, an initiative by the Training and Placement Cell and Pedia. This series is designed to bring together industry leaders and subject matter experts to share their insights and experience, providing our students and faculty with invaluable knowledge and inspiration. The Expert Lecture Series aims to foster a culture of innovation and continuous learning on our campus. By engaging with experts from various fields, we strengthen our academic community and keep pace with the latest trend and development in the industry. The mission of the Expert Lecture Series is to provide in depth guidance, host technical discussion, and offer strategic insights that prepare our students for successful careers. Through these expert led sessions, we strive to equip our students with the tools and knowledge they need to excel in their professional journey and contribute meaningfully to their chosen fields. Today, we are privileged to have our guest, Ms. Arandita Chattopadhyay ma'am, a research intern, 3D Engineering Automation LLP, VLSI Design, and Embedded System. Now, I would like to call Ashish sir for welcoming our guest. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sarvag. Good evening, everyone, respected alumni, seniors, and to all our audience. It is an honor to have you all here today for this special event. Today, we have very special guest with us. It is my privilege to welcome Ms. Anandita Chattopadhyay. We are incredibly fortunate to have her with us today. She will be sharing her insights on skills required for technical presentation, a topic that is crucial for all of us as we navigate our educational and professional journeys. We are excited to learn from his valuable experiences and gain guidance from someone who has walked the path we aspire to follow. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Anandita Chattopadhyay, ma'am. We are honored to have you here with us. Over to you, Savagi.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to call Astha ma'am for introducing our guest. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I Astha Yadav from CSE branch at Riva Engineering College. It is my privilege to introduce a remarkable individual, Anandita Chattopadhyay, ma'am. She has built an impressive academic and professional journey, beginning with her bachelor's in electrical and electronic engineering in 2018. She then gained valuable industry experience as a network associate at 𝐿𝐴𝐭𝐡, where she honed her technical skills and developed a passion for problem solving driven by desire to further her expertise. She pursued a master degree in VLSI design and embedded system from BMS College of Engineering, graduating in 2023. Currently, she is making significant strides as a research intern at 3D Engineering Automation LLP with a specialized focus on hardware security using AI and ML. Ma'am's contribution to the field are already notable with two published research papers that advance our understanding hardware and security and artificial intelligence. So today she brings her wealth of knowledge and expertise to us with a presentation on skills required for technical presentation, the art of effective communication. We welcome you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. So now getting started with the presentation, I'll quickly share my screen. So, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It is.
Okay.
It is visible.
All right. So getting started, skills required for technical presentation, the art of effective communication. All right. So today we'll go through a table of contents, that is introduction of technical presentation skills, importance of technical presentation skills, key elements of technical presentation, researching and collecting information. We'll see few test cases, and we'll learn about some continuous learning process and professional development, and then we'll conclude our presentation for today. Coming to the importance of technical presentation skills, effective communication in technical field. So it is very important since if you have the effective communication skill, you will be able to convey clearly the technical information. And it is very important to simplify the complex topics while still retaining the technical details. Since you will have a paper that is of 8 to 9 pages and bringing it to 15 slides, so you will have to simplify the entire paper but retain the technical details of it. And impact of technical presentation on professional success. So it is important since it is a critical part of your professional success, especially in technical field where ideas and innovations needs to be shared with other professionals. And these skills can lead to better business relationship and career opportunities. And there will be few challenges when you in the technical presentations. For example, non-technical audience or audience that are not interested. So that can be overcome by good practice and good communication skills. Key elements of technical presentation. So there are four key elements. First is the communication skills. The communication skill has to be clear and concise, and active listening and feedback is very important. Ability to adapt the tone and pace and confident delivery. Content expertise. You should have in-depth knowledge of the topic or the research area, and ability to summarize the complex information, and familiarity with the industry trends in research. Visual storytelling is where you structure your presentation in a perfect way, and preparation is the key. You will have to practice before you go on to the stage and present your paper or your research. Coming to researching and collecting information, gathering relevant data. So, conduct thorough research to gather relevant data to support the technical presentation, and ensure that the data must come from credible sources. So, always pick up data, or when you search for some relevant details about the research, check for some good journals when you hunt for uh, uh, some research topics or research area. And analyzing and organizing information effectively, analyze the collected information and identify key insights and trends that are relevant to the presentation objective, and organize your data such a way that whenever later it is required you will get it, or whenever you uh, take up a problem statement, first go through the reference, first go through the paper, then the reference, and then the current trends that are there in the market. So a thorough research and then jump into an innovative approach for your problem statement. Now we'll see few test cases to how to present the or how to make the technical presentation. First is the title slide. So as you can see, this is one of the title slide. And what is wrong in this title slide is it is a very boring and a very generic title with insufficient context on topic. And so it is written hardware Trojan detection using graph neural network, but it is not specified where. And it is a very non-catchy title where the author's names and affiliations are missing. So some improvisation was done, and it was updated stating hardware Trojan detection in netlist. So we covered one point, that is to where that is covered, but still it looks non-catchy, and again the names of authors and affiliations are missing. Coming to the final title slide that was updated, so it is a very informative. The title slide is informative now. So it is written a deep learning approach for hardware Trojan detection in netlist of integrated circuits with graph neural network. So in detail title with a catchy title, as well the author's name and the affiliations with the logo. Coming to the introduction slide, so you see the entire research paper has been introduced in 4 simple points with sufficient context and background information on the research topic to help the audience understand the relevance of the topic. Also, you can see it is the key points have been highlighted. So as when the presenter is presenting, one look at the highlighted point and he can recall what he or she has to talk next, and it is easier for the audience as well to only look at the highlighted points and mm, know what is going on in the research paper. There are some key tips that I would like to show you guys. So the title should be 36 point. Coming to the heading, it should be 32 point, and the subheading 28 point. And if there is less amount of data, go for 24 point font. And if it is more, take a call and you can go up to 20 point or 18 point, and do not go anywhere beyond 18 point because it will not be visible to the audience. So this is the suggested font size. And do not keep more than 14 lines in a slide, and there should be a title for each slide, and there should be labels, readable labels, below the graph, below the figures and above the graphs, and it should be readable for the audience, and no more than 3 to 5 major points. Some key tips for the slides: consistency is the must. So if you are using a type of format or a type of template or any type of fonts, so be very consistent, keep it the same for every slide. Use appropriate colors. Do not use too much of red color because it will be difficult for the audience sitting at the back to read. Use red color whenever you want to highlight any problematic area. Use green colors to highlight your results. And there are two very soothing colors, blue and black. So try to keep your presentation or your key points in blue or black. And visual should be well organized. So you can see, coming to the fonts, you can see that when we use Arial or Times New Roman, so it is even a larger sentence is compact and readable. Whereas when you use some others, such as the sans serif, it is very difficult to read and very annoying to the eyes, as well as it is taking up too much space. So be very careful with the fonts. Use bold whenever required, and see, this type of bold is not looking that good and very difficult for the audience to look at. So you can go for a correct font with bold. And coming to the capital letters, do not make everything capital because it looks very aggressive and little difficult to read. And use capitals whenever there is some acronym such as radar, CD, DVD, CPU, GPU. So these are known to most of the people, and you do not have to write the full forms on every slide for these acronyms. Coming to the next part, coming to the visual. So there are a lot of things missing in this slide as well. One is everything is in the capital font that is difficult to read, and the next is the figure description is missing. So this has been updated with a new figure where again this design is failing. It's visually not appealing, and there is too much text with a very little, information about the figure. And you should always avoid writing the figure number whenever you're writing a technical presentation. Just write the figure description. So in this slide, the figure has been changed where within the first side, one can identify that the supply chain and where the Trojan can be inserted. So it is a very visually appealing and detailed figure, and it is a self-explanatory figure. And the figure number is removed, just the figure description is added. Coming to the literature survey slide. So always, whenever you are going for a technical presentation, keep a small literature review. So what existing papers you have reviewed to perform your current findings. So here there is one issue, that is, first I have listed the current methods and then the existing techniques. I have listed the limitations first and the existing techniques. It should be swapped. So first list the existing technique and then what are the limitations to the existing technique and what you have done to modify the or to remove the limitations. Coming to the methodology slide, see, always put a very clear visual. So this is a very poor visual aid, and there is too much of technical jargons, and that will make it hard for the audience. For example, DFG, this figure is not clear. So now the figure has been modified, but there is a spell check error. So always make sure check your or proofread your presentation before you present. Next is different font types in a single slide. So keep it very consistent. Do not switch between fonts. So it becomes very distracting for the audience. So this is the final methodology slide where each step has been written. Also a table has been put up to signify what each points or what each port or signal signifies. The next is avoid too much data in one slide. Make the presentation audience specific. So there is writing, there is some mathematics to it. So a general public may not be able to understand. So always make a presentation that is audience specific. So if it is for general audience, explain the underlining principles and ideas. Keep it simple. Use clear language. Avoid technical terms that might be that they might be unfamiliar. And it should, for the research specific audience, dive into mathematical derivations, use of technical terminology, highlight novel contribution, and focus on in detail of the research. And one of the most important thing is how do you structure your presentation. So you have to structure you have to structure bit by bit. So for example, you want to talk about a phone, so you show a general phone, and then you go into their parts and then pick up a specific part, and then you go on to the physical design and then the transistor layer. So go bit by bit for better understanding. Coming to the data set slide, so there are multiple, so in this slide there were multiple technical jargons without giving the full form. So in the next slide, the full forms have been they have been elaborated more. The full form of the benchmark has been written to for better understanding, and it is very important to properly cite the sources to give the credibility to the original authors. Coming to the result slide, do not copy paste the output, because if you copy paste the output, the audience will not be able to understand what the result signifies. So this is not readable. Also avoid screenshot of equations, because when you project it on the screen, it will get blurred out. And avoid too much of text, avoid clutters, and limit text to few lines per slide, and do not make it too lengthy. Again, avoid direct copy paste of the results from the tool. And as you can see the results here, there are too many floating points. So in this case, you can convert it to milliseconds, and yeah, round off the decimal points to 3 decimal points after. And then there is another mistake where the legends, it is in a very small font. And also avoid numerical mistakes, because such as this will come around 88.7 and it is written as 93.63. So avoid such mistakes, because result signifies the novelty of the approach, and it has to be very clear and concise. Coming to the next, if you have a bigger table, so add a description to the table and organize your table in a logical form, because for the audience, it is hard to pinpoint where the exact result or where to look. So always keep your result concise and organized for easy understanding, and add the description of the table. And again, avoid the copy paste and avoid light colors, as it might not be visible to read in the projector screen. It might be visible to the computer screen, but it will be blank in the projector screen. And the same kind of mistake has been repeated, where wrong color combinations in the pictorial representation has been used, where these orange and the green colors will not be visible to the projector screen. So always use dark colors on light color background. So these are the few tips. So this black on white background is okay. This is okay. This will not be visible, as well as this will not be visible. So make sure you use the correct color combinations. Coming to the results, always use detailed representation of the results and comparison with the reference model. So whenever you get into research, you pick up a reference paper. So always make sure you compare your results. You give the comparison of the results of the existing model and your proposed model. So in this slide, you can see there is a repetition. Whatever is there present in this table has been repeated as text here. So this can be avoided. So you just can put the figure as well as the table. That is enough. And there should be a comparison with the other state of art models or other techniques. So that will demonstrate the innovation, validates your results, highlights the strength and the weakness of the proposed model, and it gives a critical evaluation. And the better way of representing this kind of results is like this, so that within first sight, the audience can, you know, differentiate between the other existing techniques to the proposed techniques. So it highlights the novelty of the approach. Always give a conclusion, offer a sense of closure, and in the conclusion, do not introduce any new points. So this will be a quick summary of your entire research. And always give references, because references adds credibility to the presentation by showing the information is backed by reputed sources. Properly citing sources gives credit to the original authors and acknowledges their contributions. Reference provides transparency, allowing the audience to verify the information and explore the sources further, and it strengthens the arguments. Coming to few test cases for technical presentation. So the next test case is where the font size on the title slide is very small. So yes, now it is more detailed and readable font. Always keep consistent. So here it shows that it is inaccurate or inconsistent unit notation can lead to confusion between the confusion uh, by the audience. So it is always recommended to format the variables in italics, and do not copy paste any table, because it will not be visible in the projector screen. So always make sure you write it. And here the table, here the image description was not added. So always remember to add a image description. Coming to the result, if you're copy pasting the results from any tools, make sure you save it in a TIFF file. So by that way, it retains the quality of the image and it is suitable for the presentation. Yes, always give reference. Coming to the third technical presentation, that is the third case. Here, very clearly, the title has been written, the author and the affiliation, as well as the logo has been presented. But coming to the result section, see, as you can see that there is a overlapping. Training and validation results are overlapping at the beginning. So this can be ignored because this is anyways not readable. So plot the required scale in the plot. Again, there is an overlapping of two sets of data points. It is difficult to see the results. So instead, plot an error curve. The error curve highlights the magnitude of errors, allowing to see how large or small the discrepancies are. The better way is to plot it in a bar graph to provide a clearer visual representing the results and make it easier for the audience to grasp. So another mistake that has been done is missing the legends. So always make sure when you do your coding, you add the legends. So again, when you see this slide, there are a lot of errors. Everything is written in capital, and here the number n is capital, whereas here it is small. The accuracy A is capital. So there is whereas E is in small letters, and there is a size mismatch between the two images. So be very consistent with the result section. Here the subheading has been changed, the image size has been changed, the heading has been accurately written. Whereas here you can see that the image is overlapping the data is overlapping, the training and validation data is overlapping, and that is removed for a clear visual. The next is again a graph where it is overlapping and unreadable. So in that case, it is best to put up a bar graph for clear visualization. So in this table, you can see that the predicted scaling factor is written first and then the true value. So always write the true value and what you have got. So first mention the true value and then the predicted value. Coming to the results here, arrange the data columns in a logical manner. So it is difficult to read. So when you arrange it in this manner, you can see what is the true value, the predicted value, and the percentage error. So this will give a clear and concise visual hierarchy. And the best way to represent, so if you have a graph that has such results, it is always better to put it up in a in a graphical representation, because it is it is very easily readable and comparable by the audience. And do not put too many graphs on a single slide. It will not be visible and it will not be comparable by the audience. So always put one or two graphs in one slide. Again, in the result section, you can see overlap legends in the graph descriptions. So these are overlapped and not readable. Also, these are not in a concise manner. The orientation is not proper. So here this is fixed. So always recheck your results before you put it up on your presentation. There are few human negligence errors. So, for example, what happened here is there is a model A and a model B, which has similar data set, and they have been named in a similar manner. So the person got confused and simulated the data set of A for B as well. So and got the similar results, whereas the result is wrong here. So always make sure whenever you are saving your files, you give different names. Another human negligence error is while taking this picture. This nowhere looks like this. The expanded view does not look like this. So always make sure whatever you are expanding is correct. So this is the rectified image. Coming to the fourth technical presentation. Here you can see the optimal range of both x-axis and y-axis is maximized. So it is a very big graph that is not properly readable. So always make sure you minimize to the point where you want to show the result. In this slide, you can see there is excess amount of data on a single slide, which leads to visual clutter and confusion. So always make sure you split the data for better visuals. So this one slide has been split into two slides. Coming to the fourth technical presentation, this has been made by a recent or an immediate graduate that is stepping into the industry. So here the problem is they have written the parameters that are not in italics, and the font is not very clear and not readable. So, and the equation is not in a logical form. So always, if it is a variable, always make it italics. Update the fonts. Make it Arial, or it is always advised to make it Arial, Times New Roman, or Calibri, and a logical equation. And do not start a new line with a full stop, and avoid any first person pronouns such as you, your, us, we, my. It is told to avoid such pronouns in the presentation. So in this, you can see the writing has been rectified, fonts change, and information presented is neutral and factual. There are carefully place the commas in the technical presentation and avoid this white spaces. So this has been rectified in this presentation. Proper use of comma and white spaces. And in the result section, you can see too many redundant and floating point values. So this is unnecessary and very difficult as well as annoying to read. So remove the redundant and many floating points. Keep it 3 points or 4 points after the point. And some tips to remember: don't design these slides very large. Design them to be simple. Design them to be clear. Label each and every figure and the table, and use only what you need and what you know. Put up anything that you put up in the presentation should be known by you, and do not use too much of text, and do not use excessive artwork, and maintain timing. So what happens is, if you are into a conference or something, you'll be given some timing, for example 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You will have to limit yourself to that timing. So make sure your presentation is up to that timing. You do not go beyond. Then coming to the slide preparation: use images and graphics wherever required. Minimize text and numbers. Do not put too much of text, and do not put too much of floating points. Light text on dark background is recommended. Avoid distracting backgrounds. So do not put too loud backgrounds, or very dark backgrounds. Use contrasting colors. Maintain time. All capital letters is harder to read, although it might look okay for the odd title. Coming to the conclusion: effective communication skill. It is one of the most important thing when you are presenting something. And strong presentation skills with technical expertise. Organization skills: how do you structure your presentation? Interpersonal and collaboration skills. So whenever you are working in a team. So how well you collaborate to get the best results. How well you organize and read and come up with a solution of the problem statement. And timing is everything, be it your presentation, or be it the time frame you are taking to complete the problem statement. Thank you. With this, I conclude the presentation here.
You are mute, sir. Again.
Oh, sorry, one moment. You were not audible
Now
to
I'm,
me. Could you please repeat?
now I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable insights. Now we have some questions from our audience. So I would like to call Shivam for asking the questions. Over to you,
Sure.
Shivam.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
How to make sure that we are not making our presentation too detailed or too long?
Uh, See, this is one of the skill sets where you take up a technical paper, and how well you are able to bring it to 15 slides while retaining the information. So always focus on the key points that is required. Okay, when it is abstract, focus on the abstract, focus more on the methodology, focus more on the result part.
Okay.
And also the timing does matter. So you will get to know whenever you're presenting something in a conference or a seminar, you will know how much timing is allotted to you, so you can practice well at home if you're able to complete your entire presentation at that particular time. So
Okay.
in that you can add, or you can remove your slides.
If anyone want to ask any other question, then please.
Sarvag, can I ask a question?
Yes, yes, Ayush, please.
Ma'am, what the best way to handle difficult and unexpected questions during a presentation?
So in case there is some question that has come up that you are not able to answer, so you can say that at this point, whatever you can answer, and then you can say that, okay, I will connect with you offline, or I will connect with you in the break, and we will discuss more on this. In case you're not able to answer the question at that particular time, you can always say that we'll connect with you offline somewhere or online, and then we'll discuss more about it.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, Ayush. If anyone want to ask any other thing, then please.
I think everyone are clear about it. One moment.
सर्वर की माइक ऑफ है तुम्हारा.
Yeah, could you please repeat the question? You were not audible.
I'm
Yes.
audible now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry for the inconvenience caused.
No, it
Due
was
to some network issue, my mic is not working. So if anyone want to ask any other thing, then please.
Yes, ma'am. I have one more question. Ma'am, what are the common barriers and how can overcome it?
barriers in the barriers while you're presenting something, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
One can be audience disinterest, because there can be sometimes you might go on to a general conference and not uh, that particular research oriented so for example, you're working on a hardware project, so people can be from different domains, so there can be now the people might not be interested or might not be knowing about that particular topic. So one thing you can do is you can make the presentation general. Do not go in depth. Do not go into the internal physics or mathematics. You just go on to the methodology, what you have done, and then give the results. And when it is audience specific, specific to your research group, then you have to dive into the mathematical formula or what changes or in the derivations you have done. So these are the two major things. And another barrier
Thank
can
you.
yeah, be confident and match the pace of your voice and everything. Don't be too loud. Don't be too low. I think this will work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this session. Now I would like to call Ayush for vote of thanks. Over to you, Ayush.
Thank you, Sarvam. On behalf of Revenging College, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all of those who have contributed to making today's event a successful. Firstly, a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed guest speaker, Mr. Anirta Chattopadhyay, for taking the time to share your invaluable insight and experience with us. Your guidance on creating impact technical presentation has been truly enlightening and will certainly benefit us in our academic and professional journey. I would also like to extend our gratitude to our club REC Pedia members and training and placement cell for their efforts in organizing this event. Your dedication and hard work behind the scene are what make event like this possible. A big thanks you to all the participants for your presence and active engagement. Your enthusiasm and curiosity drive the success of such gathering. Lastly, let's not forget our technical team who ensure everything run smoothly online. Your support is always crucial. Once again, thank you, you all for being a part of this event. Let's continue to learn, grow, and make informed choice that shapes our future in technology. Thank you, and have a great day ahead.
Thank you, Ayush. Now I request everyone to please turn on their cameras for a snapshot. Vishal, could you please take the snapshot?
Yes, I can. Okay, done.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you so much, ma'am. And all the audience who joined us today. Thanks for this incredible session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.